of the National Football League for this Thanksgiving matchup. It's the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. Next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Just about set for football. The veteran Matt Gay has it teed up, and we are underway now at Lucas Oil Stadium. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. That'll be pulled in downfield by Collins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins, 45 yards. And the Texans get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, they said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Richardson to throw off play action. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. Room here to run. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And 22 more yards there and another first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back to back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Richardson finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. From the 25, here's second down and 1. They go play action with Richardson. And this taken in by Downs. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 7 yards there and a first down. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense. They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
Here's second and 10. Richardson off the play fake. And that's caught left side by Mo Alley-Cox. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Colts respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
That's a great response here in this first quarter. And what I like about it is how they put this drive together. The other guy scored quickly to start the game, but this was smart football to not feel like you have to go out and score quickly yourself. So they worked the ball down the field, took their time, and finished with the touchdown run.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively, pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Stroud to throw it. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Stroud. Able to shake him off. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Stroud looking to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
He's got 1 touchdown pass already in this quarter, obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
2nd and 10. Here's Stroud. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 23. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
And Stroud now to throw. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Stephon Diggs from 17 yards out. And the Texans have taken the lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. 3rd and 8. Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
And they'll go to the air now with Richardson. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Pass complete downfield. It's Pierce. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Colts are an extra point away from evening this one up. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. That time a 6-play drive. And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Houston set to take over. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Here now a 3rd and 20. Throwing now is Stroud. To the sideline and incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. The deep to return is Josh Downs. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 23. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now it's Richardson. This one finds Pierce on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Running straight ahead, Taylor.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back to Taylor on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Richardson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. In motion right is Pittman. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 57 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 28. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They want to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
Pretty entertaining start. 14 all the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Now Richardson, he's going to keep it running right. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Anthony Richardson keeping it himself from 10 yards away. And the Colts have taken the lead. Well, fans of old school football, they got to be loving this partner. All 3 drives so far have ended in a touchdown, and all 3 on the ground.
And when you say fans of old school football, count me in, because you just don't see ground games dominate the scoring by pounding the rock like this anymore. To me, this is refreshing.
Gay is on for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was Anthony Richardson who took it into the end zone to finish things off. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Stroud. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stroud. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Back to throw. Stroud. Quick slant. He's got Joe Mixon. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Back to Mixon on 1st down, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Stroud working out of the gun. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Well, I appreciate the aggressiveness trying to go for it there on 4th down, but you're in the red zone, had 3 points in your back pocket. Instead, Charles, they throw it away.
Certainly a big call to go for it on 4th down. As you said, in the red zone, definitely going to cost them 3 points, and we'll see how that affects the game as time goes on.
Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 83 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now a 2nd and 10. Richardson looking to throw this. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
And this offense on 3rd down today, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Richardson working from the gun. And a throw for Pittman is intercepted. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll take over here following the interception with a chance to tie the ball game. It's 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mixing up the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Stroud out of the gun here. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Play action. Stroud now. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that'll bring them back within 4.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Colts offense and running back Jonathan Taylor heading back onto the field. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Richardson looking to throw. That one finds Pierce right side.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. That complete to Downs.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
Houston's offense taking over again.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Stroud to throw it.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Stroud looking to throw. On the move right.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here's Tommy Townsend now.
Standing just outside his own goal line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Colts taking the field again. Running back Jonathan Taylor at center stage.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8. They run once more with Taylor.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
That is caught. He's going to have the 1st down and then some.
Touchdown, Indianapolis. 65 yards.
And they are able to add on to their advantage.
And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point.
And that one pushes the lead up to 11. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it was capped off by a touchdown catch from Alec Pierce. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Now 2nd and 5. Now Stroud. That's complete to Dell.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Now it's Mixon running right.
And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's Stroud.
To Mixon on the check down. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
From the 41, here's a second down and 6. And Stroud now to throw. Room to maneuver at the 35.
And finally taken down at the 34. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Back to throw now on first down.
That'll be pulled in downfield by Collins.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Nico Collins
with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Texans have got it back to within a score.
These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes it a 28-24 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And able to get this out to the 25. Indy offense ready to go once again, and we'll get another look at Alec Pierce.
Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
And even 100 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
Richardson off the play fake. That's going to be caught by Alley Cox.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10.
Richardson to throw off play action. That's going to be taken in by Downs.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Josh Downs.
A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Colts are able to stretch out their lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Gay is on for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Texans offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing now is Stroud. Finding Mixon here again on back-to-back plays. That one a first down pickup of 8. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He finds his target. It's Schultz. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd down and 4. A shotgun snap to Stroud. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Stroud. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Second and 5. They'll look to throw again. To the right side and caught by Dell. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, What you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Back to throw again. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Stephon Diggs with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Texans get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And the lead is down to 4. A 10-play drive that time.
And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Colts offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Richardson out of the shotgun. Connecting over the middle with Downs.
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Now 2nd and 3. Here's Richardson to throw.
And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Now Richardson.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We saw former rushing champ Jonathan Taylor be a big-time factor in that first half. He's over 100 yards rushing for the game already and found the end zone twice as well.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter three?
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The home team's offense and Anthony Richardson ready for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Now it's Richardson.
Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. $51 yards on the punt there.
And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
56 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. Got his man, Dell.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Stroud out of the gun here.
Throw left side complete. That's Schultz.
And he is going to have a Texans first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Stroud looking to throw.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
An option handoff here to Mixon. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Stroud to throw it.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On 3rd down, Mixon.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Here's Stroud.
Left side caught by Diggs. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Stephon Diggs. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans have retaken a 3rd-quarter lead. So a very strong first drive in the second half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a 3rd-quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well, moving the ball down the field.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Indy offense ready to go once again, and we'll get another look at Alec Pierce.
Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Richardson looking to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Richardson.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it.
A short throw. This is caught by Cox. That'll give him 8 that time. 3rd and 7 now.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their route.
Richardson under pressure, and down he goes. That's Azeez Al-Shaair getting through for the sack that time.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far.
Schultz hauls in the quick throw.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's second down and 7. And Stroud now to throw.
It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. Here's a give to Mixon.
Down at the 35, it'll be second down.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
Second and 6. Now Stroud.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too.
Throwing now is Stroud. Caught left side. Here's Dell.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Here's second and 3.
A handoff to Mixon. And they'll get him down right around the 16. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
This is how offensive coordinators earn their money. He thought he was ahead of the curve after first down.
Got 7 yards first down play, but then you get stuffed there on second down, maybe just a yard out of it. Now your advantage is evaporated. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn out for the field goal try for the Texans. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6.
So give them 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
That tackle behind the line made by Will Anderson.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
That one finds Pierce right side.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Richardson looking to throw this. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Now a handoff. Taylor with it.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Operating from the gun, Richardson.
That's complete to Pierce.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
3rd and 4. Richardson working from the gun. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number 1, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. Well, that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. Running left, it's Mixon. And he's got the 1st down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Second down and a yard. Now they'll go play action here with Stroud. That's complete to Dell.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 17-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Stroud.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The quick slant caught.
And the Texans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
Mixon is into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
Now the Houston offense is going to stay out there as they'll try for 2. They'll let Mixon try to run it in. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, that'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Here's Richardson to throw. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Mo Alley-Cox.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Defensively, Jimmy Ward in on the stop.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd down and 3. They go play action with Richardson. Connecting over the middle with Downs.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor.
An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Colts have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The visitors' offense and running back Joe Mixon set to take over once more. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary. I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain.
Play action. Stroud now.
That's complete. It's Collins. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 14. 23 yards the pickup there.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the gun, a give to Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. Again, it's Mixon. And they'll rally and stop him short of the first down at about the 6. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up fourth down.
Well, running back. Size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage.
I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
Richardson out of the shotgun. He'll drop this down to Taylor.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Now Richardson, he's going to keep it running right.
Shrugs him off. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And good yardage there on first down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
To the right side, this is Taylor.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
Escaping the pressure right, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Richardson shotgun on 3rd down.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown.
Anthony Richardson.
A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Colts have cut it back within a score.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was Anthony Richardson who took it into the end zone to finish things off.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
To throw is Stroud. That is caught.
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
So Richardson and the Colts now
down by a field goal, 25 seconds remaining. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10.
Richardson to throw it. Pass complete to Allie Cox. Oh, and a nice tackle, a 6-yard pickup, but they need more than that. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner, although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so